Have you ever thought a stock could go up 198.99 million% in 5 days, or even in general? Well, Sears Canada is up a face-melting 198 million in the last 5 days, which could be a major liquidity pump for short sellers. What is going on, guys? Lottery Stocks here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Today we have a ton of stuff to cover with AMC, then GameStop, the S&P 500 to close out the video. All I ask you guys to do in return, as usual, get this video to 1,000 likes, hit that subscribe button, have post notifications on. Let's get into it. So after covering the major move in Sears up 198 million%, you're likely not to see this on a stock that's not an over-the-counter play, but it could definitely happen. Also, I don't know the validity of this, so take this with a grain of salt, but I did look at the chart. The price is there. The percentages are there. It's just very odd to say the least. Now, apparently us AMC shareholders hold 91.2% outstanding shares. The majority of shares are still owned by retail investors. Retail investors hold a significant majority in AMC's current ownership structure, with a substantial 91.2% of outstanding shares owned by the general public. Now, myself as well as you guys assume that we hold even more than that. In fact, the float time and time over. But this is still the highest number that we have seen so far for the amount of float that we actually hold for AMC. AMC and 12 other stocks that Wall Street absolutely doesn't recommend. Now, number one, they shouldn't even be able to do this. And number two, notice how they put AMC and 12 other stocks in the title. AMC is the biggest threat to Wall Street, and this is just to show you that right here. Plus, investor play should be investigated and or sued. They post several different things that push investors one way and then dump the other way. They say why Bed Bath & Beyond stock is a buy. Of all the meme stocks, Bed Bath & Beyond is the most fundamentally strong, and now Bed Bath & Beyond is gone, which meme stock will be next. So basically they say, listen, you should probably buy Bed Bath & Beyond, and then Bed Bath & Beyond goes under. Now, Taylor Swift The Eras Tour will be a blockbuster and might shake up the movie business. Movie theaters are readying for an onslaught like they've never seen before, beginning Friday when Taylor Swift The Eras Tour debuts. Again, another beautiful thing for movie theaters, stating that movie theaters may be entering something that they've never seen before, which is extremely bullish. And it's also bullish for AMC's chart, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But we had another order imbalance, 102,968 shares on the buy side, so they couldn't match these sellers. Another order imbalance, bullish thing to see. Now take a look at this, hidden in plain sight. Derivatives, exposure, regulatory transparency, and trade repositories. Hidden in plain sight, not easily understood, not readily functional, not easily shared between policymakers, and therefore not as useful as it should be. Policymakers realizing our self-regulating / self-reporting model might not be the most prudent approach to the market with $700 trillion outstanding. So one step forward at a time, and another step forward as the SEC updated rules to reduce the amount of time funds have private information as well. So shout out to Dave Lauer over on Twitter and anybody who left a comment letter. Finally, the last thing before we touch on the charts, the SEC proposes new rule to prohibit brokers / market makers from using options to fake cover FTDs. They won't be able to fake FTD covering and close Reg SHO loopholes. Rule number SR NSCC 2023-007 will guarantee settlement, and FTDs will have to be closed, forcing short sellers to buy legit shares on the open market. Now, as many of you know, when I dig into these filings, it takes several hours, and I have not done my research into this filing just yet. Once I do, that's for a whole nother video, but this is a possible game changer. Now, to jump into AMC's chart, but I want to thank you guys again for hitting that like button. I really do appreciate it. AMC's trading at $10.15, up 2.32% on the day, and this is the chart back before the January run-up, because this is something that we have been tracking, and this is what AMC looks like now, which is a very, very similar play, about to fill that 18% resistance level, just like you saw back here when we ran up to 1660. And this is what I see AMC doing at some point this week, coming up to 1075. I still stick to that. However, be careful, because we may see a rejection over the horizon with AMC, GameStop, the SPY, but it could just be a temporary one, and I'm going to explain my thoughts in a moment. But once we get a break over 1075, this zone up here from 1170 to 1323, expect to smash through that on AMC with a lot of volume and a lot of volatility, just compared to what we saw before the January run-up, as well as what's happening with the SPY and GameStop, and we're going to talk about it in a minute right after we touch on the Ortex numbers. 9% short interest, utilization at 61%, cost to borrow only at 2%, 3.3 million shares available to borrow against AMC, 40,000 calls expiring in the money compared to 2,000 puts. So the second week where the gamma is ramping up higher and higher, a beautiful thing to see. And real quick, I want to touch on investors withdrawing from a hedge fund. Investors are withdrawing from the hedge fund Pelham Capital following financial losses. These assets have decreased from 4.5 billion 3 years ago to 1 billion today. Pelham Capital, formerly a prominent player in London's equity hedge fund sector, has witnessed a substantial decline in assets over the past 3 years due to lackluster performance, investor outflows, and team departures. Assets at Pelham, a specialist in equities founded by Ross Turner, a former fund manager at Lansdowne Partners and backed by Goldman Sachs, publicly listed Peter Schill Fund, have plummeted from 4.5 billion in October 2020 to approximately 1 billion today, as reported by individuals familiar with the situation. So another hedge fund going under and another hedge fund collapsing. Also guys, I made a short yesterday talking about Voyager completing the liquidation process. If you guys didn't get your checks in and you had money in Voyager, now's the time to reach out to them. Now before we get into GameStop the SPY to close out the video and some additional stuff, pop in the Discord. The link is right under the video. I'm in there on the daily. We talk stocks all day long. We post gains, post losses, and have options trading alerts in there. So there's no reason not to get in there, whether you're a beginner or advanced trader. This is the place to go with the best vibes. Also, if you want a great platform to trade on and you're getting sick of your platform, or you just want to start fresh and load up some money into a new platform, use my link, download Moomoo, sign up and make a deposit of even $1. You're going to get up to 16 free stocks courtesy of Moomoo, as well as a guaranteed Tesla or Google stock and $50 sent to your account to trade with. Along with this, you will get access to free level 2 order book data, trading options, going long, going short, and more. So go to that. The link is right under the video and pinned in the top comments. GameStop trading at 1590, down 0.6% on the day. Watch this level for a breakthrough as well at 1620 all the way up to 1645. This is something we expect to smash through with GameStop as well, but it did get a rejection just like the S&P 500. You're seeing a little bit of a double top right here. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a retracement on everything that we have been watching before getting another rip, right? The September-October cycle is finally dealt with, or at least nearing an end, and I think, in my opinion, this is a good time to dollar cost average a bunch of different tickers. Now, the September PPI inflation unexpectedly rises to 2.2% above expectations of 1.6, core PPI to 2.7 above expectations of 2.3, and this is the first core PPI jump since April of 2022, so it is now up 3 consecutive months. This, of course, is affecting the overall market. SPY trading at 434.91, got that double top just like GameStop. If we break below 434.40, watch 433.50. If we get a bounce at 434.40, watch for a smash right through this level, all the way above 440.40, as well as AMC and GameStop following this with a lot of volume going forward. That will be a bullish thing to see. Also, to close out the video, Exxon to buy Pioneer Natural Resources for $253 per share, and Chipotle is raising prices for the 4th time in 2 years. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching or found value out of the video. Make sure to check the links down below. Hit that like button. I love you all. Lottery Socks out.